to the Adventure of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
What have you done to me? I gave up everything. I never wanted to leave. Just needed to escape my misery. Just needed to escape my misery. Just running from me. I don't feel anymore.
This is Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Christina, Chris, and
Joey Fava.
of Kaleido.
Nice here on Shiprocked.
Yes.
How badass is that?
It's the best.
Now I gotta tell you, your hat. I love your hat. Okay, but it's scaring me right now. You want to know why? It's a Shiprock story from this Shiprock.
Oh, let me hear this.
See that?
Oh, no.
You got spiked?
One of my friends had spikes on his vest up here, like twice the size of yours, and I went to give him a hug and went, a man hug?
Oh, my
And I went
God.
like that. Next thing I know.
When was that?
When was that? A couple days ago? Prom night. Okay.
Dang.
And then I'm like, oh, no big deal. There was just a little drop of blood. And she's like, well, you better go to the bathroom and wash that. And by the time I got to the bathroom, my whole hand was red, and it was like squirting out of my hand. Oh, my God. Totally. So.
Well, these are sharp, but I don't think they could do as much damage as that one.
No.
Maybe if I headbutted somebody, but
That could be fun.
I've got extra armor.
I know, right? So, I keep trying to say Castaway in my head because I'm thinking of a movie.
Stowaway.
But you're a stowaway.
Stowaway.
But no, seriously though, freaking badass that was, okay? That whole Stowaway performance and
Wasn't
everything
it
that
sick?
you did. I'm super impressed for a few reasons. One is that I was watching rehearsals. It was just like one rehearsal.
Yeah.
Do that. How the frick do you get with other people that you don't normally do with and sound that good from one rehearsal on songs you don't normally do?
I think that we all try to do our homework as best we can to come prepared.
Because you're all pros.
And then, yeah, you get put on the spot with just one rehearsal. But we were just talking about this. Like, we never get nervous for performing with Kaleido, or Joey would never get nervous to play the drums. When it comes to the Stowaways, there's some nerves going on.
Well, you're probably pretty nervous when 5 bass pedals are broken.
Yeah, literally, Haley did the first song, and immediately, like, I could tell that something happened, and I was like, oh, my God, we got the whole set left. But it's crazy. Like, you got to just jump in, and as long as, I mean, everyone knows it, obviously, but it's, like, so wild. And you also don't want to let anybody else down, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't want to be that guy that messes it up or something, you know? And then being the drummer, it's like everyone's following me, so it's like if I mess up, we're falling down the stairs, you know what I mean? So I feel like that energy that you get from that, though, that kind of little bit of nervous energy is cool. It's more exciting. And
I think the crowd feeds off.
Yeah,
of it.
oh, totally. I agree. And it's cool, and it's like just the kind of revolving door of everyone going up and down, and it's like a high school hangout. It's wild. Like, it's like the coolest thing. I really enjoy it, man.
Totally. And I imagine it's so much fun for you guys, too, because
It is a lot of
it's not
fun.
what you're normally doing, which it's great, but sometimes you want a little escape to something else. That's why I think a lot of artists like to go do karaoke so they can do that.
Yeah. And this year, the theme especially was a little bit more out of the box than normal, because I think that a lot of these songs, maybe people didn't know. Some of them were off the wall, like Choice, like One Night in Bangkok.
Right?
Which I had a blast learning, and I ended up going down a rabbit hole when I was learning it, because I'm like, what is this song about? And it's about chess. It's about a chess tournament in Bangkok.
That's funny.
And it's then
I didn't even know that.
further down the rabbit hole, It's from a musical or a movie called Chess.
Wow. That's wild.
So it was fun. It was fun learning these songs, and I think that it went really well, and I'm so excited for the set tomorrow night because that one's going to be the
I'm
more
excited about
metal
that
rock
one. And
stuff.
I've already got inside scoops that we're right now. This won't be till after that published, so I can say whatever I want. But
Yes.
like, I'm super excited about Whiplash. Super excited about that. And then, like, when I was leaving to come up here to do interviews, I heard rehearsals of Motley Crue. That'll be badass.
Yep.
And man, I'm just like, you were that good in the music that isn't my genre that I can't imagine what it's going to be like. And it's funny because I'm from the 80s, okay? Teenager in the 80s, LA metal scene, not the hair metal, the thrash metal. So about as gatekeeper as it got back then. And it's like, there's people I interview now, like Josie Cotton. She became a friend of mine. I've interviewed her, and she's like a new waver from the 80s. And I said to her the first time, I'm like, you know, I wasn't allowed to like you in the 80s, but I secretly did, because we all secretly did like this shit, but wouldn't admit it. And I'm like, so now I'm very happy that I can publicly tell you how great you are as an artist.
That's funny.
Right? You know, and like every song you guys played last night are the exact songs we would have made fun of in the 80s, but we all actually like, which is the reason why Steel Panther's so big. You know, because Steel Panther is who you would never like. Like, you see somebody like Corey Taylor right up front for Steel Panther, loves them, and like, we all had those guilty pleasures, but we couldn't admit it. So it's cool that we can now.
Yeah, and even if you didn't want to admit that you listened to them, you probably had to hear them somewhere because they were
No
really
doubt.
popular songs.
No doubt. I said this in a couple other interviews, the only thing I was surprised that didn't come up last night, especially when it would be like the all girls up there, was
That
the
was
Go-Go's.
so freaking cool.
Right?
That I got to do Material Girl with an all-woman band.
That was badass.
That was so cool for me. As soon as I got the list of who was doing that song with me, I was like, yes, I get to be with the...
It was spot
girls.
on, too. It was spot on.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
they're all pros, and they're all sweethearts, and we had a lot of fun together, and it was a definite highlight for me from this entire Shiprocked.
It's nice to see because in the industry that we're in, I'm seeing more and more women that are being not only badass, because to me the women are way more badass than the guys. It's that emotional passion thing, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's so, I don't even know why we were such fucking idiots in the 80s, to be blunt, because women, I think, like even on instruments, I think sometimes they're like so much more badass. Probably because you guys got to
Yeah,
work
the Runaways.
harder. Yeah, exactly. Probably because unfortunately, you have to work harder. So you guys like make sure, like you just said, you're practicing, you're being a pro. Whereas in the 80s, none of the guys were pros. They were freaking drunk and high off their ass. And if they made it to the stage, it was a miracle.
Times have changed, I think. That's probably not as acceptable anymore, but
No.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Right? Okay, did you see the meme? Okay, there's a meme of the rock star in the 80s and rock star today.
No.
Okay, so have you seen it?
With the guitar players in the 80s, and like it's like Slash drunk laid out, and then it's like guitar players in the 80s.
Holding his guitar in one hand and JD in the other, passed out
Yeah,
on the
and then
ground.
the next one is like guitar players now, like a laptop and a cup of coffee. He's
Exactly.
so funny. I did see that. That was hilarious, dude.
It's like backstage. Like people say to me, "Oh man, can you get me backstage?" I'm like, There's no reason. There's no reason
everyone's
to go.
sitting around on their
It's not
phones.
the 80s. There's no reason to go around. Like, I'm hanging out with Rob from Godsmack, and we're showing each other pictures on our iPhones, whereas I was partying on the Sunset Strip at 13, 14, 15, 16 years old of things I won't mention on the air.
I have seen some good memes about what people think is happening backstage versus what actually is happening backstage.
Oh, I wanna hear
have
about-
seen
I
some
wanna
of
hear
those
about that.
memes. And I also seen another meme that was like, backstage is just the area for the artist to have an anxiety attack in private.
It's so true. It's so true. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good stuff. So what do you think about being on Shiprocked? Like, how cool is it?
I love it. This is one of the coolest experiences that we have ever had. And to continue to get to do it again and again is a dream come true. We just always have a blast, and we've made so many friends. I think lifelong friends, and met other musicians, and met musicians that we've looked up to our whole lives too, as well as new friends. So it's just it's a really cool experience. We're super honored to be a part of it, and I just said earlier, it's kind of like rock and roll sleepover.
Right? It is, totally. Yeah, and what I've been saying a lot too, it's so cool how the people on Shiprocked are. Because if you were at a festival, you wouldn't be out there interacting because you'll just like be swarmed and who knows what else. Whereas here, they're like totally respectful. They do what you would want them to do. They walk by, hey, how's it going? And keep going.
Yep. It's a special group of people. It's a really cool family vibe. It's great.
Even eating. At a festival, you would never eat with the general public, okay? You would
It's
eat
just not
artists.
set up like that usually, you know?
Exactly. But here you see all the artists in the regular dining, even though you have artist dining, it's like, even a couple I was talking to, like, we want to go down there where the fun is.
I haven't eaten in the artist dining once this time.
See?
I'm always in the buffet, and we just discovered that burrito spot, which is pretty fire.
You didn't know about that?
No.
Oh, my God, that's like the hit of the place.
Yeah.
And how about, have you tried, okay, so I'm originally from New York and New Jersey, so I'm very much a pizza Nazi. Have you tried that 24-hour pizza?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. And I don't say that about pizza usually. That's not in New York. It is like New York pizza.
So I think that you said that was the best thing on here before you discovered the burritos, right?
Yeah. Last night we were just walking by, and I was like, "Is this a burrito place?" I had no idea. Dude, we've done this 4 or 5 times already, and I had no idea that was there, dude.
That's
I'm like, what?
funny.
Yeah. So I just went and ate 2 of them before this. I was like, I'm going to get some burritos, dude. No.
I had a taco from there before this.
So yeah, I realized they had tacos too, but I haven't tried them yet. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, but that pizza though, and I love that it's 24 hours because somebody was freaking out, dude, in the Shiprocked group because they're like, I don't think they're gonna have the pizza. Or like, they stopped it at.
Rumor.
Yeah, but well,
Really?
it's
We
because.
weren't going to have pizza this year. I'm glad that that was
I'm glad that's
wrong.
a rumor.
Well, it's because they chartered this, so I think now it's 24-hour pizza. They're only going to have it for maybe a couple hours a day or something. But, dude, you want the pizza at night, you know, like.
Oh, that's what happened to me the other night. I'm doing interviews all day. I don't have time for shit. The dining room was closed.
Yeah.
And Christine's, they have 24-hour pizza, right? I'm like, really? I'll go check it out. But I was like a little worried. Pizza on a cruise.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, it's going to be like Domino's.
Yo, what's going on, Shiprocked? This is Cookie saying, listen up, folks. Make your way to the very back right now as we have 2 main events. Oxymoron is born on the deck stage on deck 10 and the belly flop competition on deck 10 half by the Pizza Place. Now, don't forget we got our blackjack tournament happening.
Pizza Place.
Pizza Place.
And Dead performing in their meet and greet at 4:30 today. Dead is performing.
Cookie's a trip, too. He's the coolest. Like, what a trip he is. He's so
he's-
cool.
So
Store. I am sponsoring for the belly flop for the merch store by an amazing onesie on just for this amazing belly flop. And don't forget, I'm going to continuously make announcements about tomorrow's water shuttle so everybody's on the same page. But right now, belly flop, oxymoron, merch store, meet, greets, and more. Get into it and let's get this party started. See you guys some singles. Touch out for that.
That belly flop's going to be funny.
Silent auction.
yeah, I have to go check that out.
I'm going to check that out. Man, that's going to be funny.
For a great cause because cancer sucks, and definitely we're going to do some amazing things with this auction that you guys don't want to miss. That'll be hosted by Jesse, I believe, coming up your way at 5:30. But I'll see everybody in Bill's Rock coming your way next.
That's the second interview that's happened. I think I'm just going to
Thank you for the guest appearance, Cookie, in our interview.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it in. You know, instead of editing it out, just keep it in.
Yeah. We had a special guest, to Cookie, in our interview, our little chat today. But it made me think. So this year, I got to judge the hairy chest competition.
Oh, my God.
With Cookie.
Okay, I have to hear about this because I wasn't there. I don't know if I was doing interviews or whatever.
Well, I hope you were sleeping because it was at 10 a.m. on the deck stage.
Wow.
That was the earliest I think that I've ever been up and functioning on Shiprocked.
Was it also the earliest you saw a hairy chest?
Yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot of hair.
Were you
hair.
Were you able to eat the rest of the day after that?
No, barely. But no, they were. Cookie had them doing some wild stuff, but they were all really cool. It was funny, but there was some bumping and grinding and motorboating
Whoa.
going on. And I'm like sitting on my hands so that I don't, because Cookie's like, touch them, feel the hair. I was like, I'm good. I can judge. My eyes are going to do the judging here. We don't need the sense of touch to see who's going to win.
Oh my
but
God.
anyways, it was a blast. It was a trip. Cookie's hilarious, and Cookie
Totally.
ran that.
Did you see Family Feud?
I missed that.
Oh my God, that was the funniest shit ever. And both Winston from Parkway Drive and Hollywood Undead talked about it in the interview. So I fucked with Hollywood Undead. I'm friends with them, actually. But so last night at their show, at the end, when they're saying, thank you, good night, we are, and they said Parkway Drive, because they were busting Parkway Drive the whole set. And so when we started the interview, I'm like, I did before, yeah, this is Pipeman here on W4CY Radio, and I'm here with Parkway Drive.
That's
And then
funny.
I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, I better re-listen to that and maybe edit part of it, because I don't think I ever said Hollywood Undead the whole interview.
Speaking of Parkway Drive,
Yes.
they're one of my favorite bands. And that is a definite highlight for me as well, is to be able to see them live again.
Yes.
The first time that I saw them live was on Shiprocked 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
And I'm lucky to be on this year when they're back on. Because I
Nice.
love them.
They
I
are
love
amazing.
That band.
What I love about Winston is when you know him in real life and talk to him, you never imagine the brutality he is on stage. Like, you would never imagine it. You know?
Yeah,
He's
he's-
just like the
he's a chill,
nicest,
cool guy.
nicest, cool dude, and then he just gets up there and he's brutal, which I love.
Yeah, and they have such great songs, and the energy of their show is just next level. I could go
Especially,
on and on.
yeah, there
I
you
hope
go.
I hope they hear this.
I
Christina, Chris, and Joey Fava from Kaleido are big fans.
We'll make sure they hear it. I did bring up in the interview, I'm like, they can't do it here on the boat, but I'm like, do you ever feel like you might be James Hetfield when you're on stage? And he says multiple times he feels like he looks at
Yeah, their pyro is like just
insane
next level.
Insane.
Unbelievable.
And I look
Their whole
at it,
stage
I'm
show,
like,
yeah.
how are they not all blowing
But you know what I
up?
love about them though is that they can do that show and have all that pyro and it's this incredible spectacle of a show, or they can come here and just rip a show like that and it's just still amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
the
that's the coolest
energy,
stuff,
it's
yeah.
the music, and just like who they are.
Oh, dude, it's the like Winston. He's the charisma of him as well. Just like I love that band. They're so
Absolutely.
good. So good.
So I guess if I asked you who you'd want to go on tour with, that would be a good one, right?
Yep. Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Who else have you seen or want to see on Shiprocked?
I'm going to go watch my friend Andy Wood perform tonight, and he's such an incredible guitar player and musician. He's running the Stowaways, and he's amazing.
Nice.
I mean, I think he might be like the best in the whole world.
I love it.
And I want to see the Oxymorons.
They are great. Have you ever seen them?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God, they're so amazing. I got to tell you a story about them at Rocklahoma. We were doing an interview, and I was wearing a Rocklahoma shirt, and one of the dudes was wearing one of their Melatonin Punk shirts, and he says, I want your shirt. And I'm like, I want your shirt. And we literally, during the middle of the interview, live traded shirts. Of course, they just got off stage, so his shirt was super fucking sweaty.
Oh.
Yes, but I did. Now they expect me to wear it every time. Like I wore it the first day they had a set, and then last night that we were at whatever set we were at, and they're like, "You're gonna wear the shirt tomorrow, right?" I'm like, maybe, because it's right now probably pretty sweaty. Not as sweaty as when you were wearing it, but sweaty. Oh man,
I want to see Dead too. They're friends of ours.
I
And
just
we
caught
haven't seen
them
them in a
before
few
this.
years.
They're friends of mine, too. And they're cool as shit. And they put on a great set on the deck just shortly before we did this interview. Because I ran down to get some food. Like, I've been doing this since 9. I ran, and then they were playing. So instead of going to food, I stopped. I'm like, oh,
Do
I
they
got
still
one.
have one more set left, or did I miss them?
I think they do have.
They have a theater set left.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Phew.
Yeah, don't miss them.
Can't do everything, and that's a bummer.
But let me ask you a question. As an artist, do you get to see more on the ship than at the festivals? Because at the festivals, you really don't get to see shit.
Yeah, no, definitely. The opportunity to have multiple performances on here for the bands is good, because if you can't make it one day, maybe you can make it the next time.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
what's
so
cool.
thankful for that.
I love it.
Because you never know, like with the schedule, there's always stuff going on. So you might just end up being scheduled or something else on the other side of the boat's going on. So just that opportunity for people to have a second chance to see you, that's really cool.
Very cool. So tell everybody how they can reach out to you, buy merch, see tour dates, new music, all that stuff.
Absolutely. KaleidoBand.com, and it's Kaleido like the scope without the scope. So KaleidoBand.com. And then also find us on all the socials at Kaleido Band. And give us a follow. Check us out. We have a lot of new music. And that's what we've been mostly focused on recently. And so we are filling up the vault. And we're going to start dropping a bunch of new music really soon.
Nice. I love it. And I have an idea. I think you should take that hat and make it into merch.
I know, because I get a lot of compliments on this hat.
It is a cool-ass hat.
Joey and I were hanging out with Billy Joe from Green Day, and he stole this hat from me. And I have a picture of him wearing it.
I love it.
And I, ended up purchasing more of these hats because of the one that he wore. I'm just going to leave this one.
Right?
Billy Joe wore my hat.
There you go.
He liked it.
See, I would buy it. If it said Kaleido on it, I would buy it. Because it is a badass hat.
I might have to rip it off. And people are like, "Did you make that?" I'm like, "I wish. I probably could, though. I have these. I make custom leather jackets from time to time, and so I have an awl and the little stud stuff. So I might need to start experimenting, go into beanie crafting.
There you go. Like you don't have enough to do, right?
I make bracelets, decorate the leather jackets, but now I'm going to add beanies.
See, I need
Thanks
a bracelet. You need Kaleido bracelets. I see
I have one.
You're wearing one.
Yeah, I've got you. But yeah, thanks for the suggestion. I'm
See?
going to do a beanie now.
There you go. I love it.
Me too.
And I love that you're here on Shiprocked. And thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thank you for having us. We're just so happy to be here, and let's enjoy these last couple of days here.
Let's go see some belly flopping.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.